Hello fellow engineers and welcome to Kyle is Famous. This is a game where you get to decide the life choices of a man named Kyle. And today we'll be finding out, is he an architect or is he an engineer? Will we make good life choices or bad ones? Anyway, Kyle woke up. He is famous. He's the host of the most popular talk show in recent memory, Stay Up Late with Kyle. So tonight is Kyle's most important guest interview yet. The very famous philanthropist Rachel May will be joining us. So we got 30 hours until the interview. We must choose our actions wisely. So the first decision of the day is wither away or exit the bed. Wither away. What are we, a flower? Anyway, of course, we're going to select wither away. Kyle decided to stay put and wither away. Kyle withered successfully and died. Kyle is now a ghost. What? This does not relieve him of his responsibilities. Get out of bed anyway. It took us 3 hours to die. Right, anyway, as a ghost, we exited the bed and took a glance round the bedroom. So we can open the closet, we can sit at the desk, or we can scavenge. Scavenge. What is a ghost going to scavenge from a bedroom? I'm intrigued. Kyle quickly crouched down on the floor, realizing his immediate need for bugs or gossip. Oh, I think we're going to be a ghost that eats bugs. Kyle started to pick between the fuzz of his bedroom carpet, hoping to catch a stray beetle or two. Ah, yes, we're definitely an architect. Soon he had a small handful of various insects, dead and alive. I think we're going to eat them immediately. I'm not sure if ghosts can eat. Oh, no, we can. We felt refreshed. So, back to the bedroom. Let's get dressed. We're a naked ghost at the moment. That's not cool. Kyle opened the closet. It was dark and he could only really see his hanging shirts. Let's choose an outfit. So jeans and swimming goggles. Interesting combo. A slick suit. Skunk pasties. What? What's a skunk pasty? Is that skunk as in the animal or the drug? And is pasty like is that like a Cornish pasty? And then we've also got a suit of armor. I mean, we're a ghost. We don't really need any of those. I'm interested to see what a skunk pasty is. Kyle chose the pasties made out of mashed skunk flesh. Huh? Oh, Wikipedia said they're like nipple patches. So we're a ghost with bits of skunk attached to our nipples. Getting the slimy garments to stay proved difficult, so Kyle opted to stick them to his body with hot glue. Alright, we've got 17 hours left. I feel like we're pretty prepared now. We're a ghost and our belly is full of bugs and we have nipple patches on. Alright, let's exit the bedroom into the hallway. That took an hour apparently. And we're in the hallway, so we've got some things. I think yellow like goes to a different room. Shall we check the locked door while we're here? I forgot what was in it in my own house. So we walked over to the strange door in the hallway, but found quickly that the door was locked from the inside. Well, thankfully, we are a ghost. Oh, we actually can float through as a ghost. What about my nipple patches? Sod it. Let's go in. Kyle used his ghostly powers to walk straight through the door. So we found ourselves in the room, stashed with the various items sent him by fans. Is one a sewing machine? Let's check it. We walked over to the dilapidated sewing machine. Its box was only half removed. Okay. Back to room, back to hallway. Oh, goodness. There's only 10 hours left. All right, we could go to the kitchen, but I feel like we need to get going. Let's leave the apartment. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road and took a long, pondering look around him, wondering where did it all go wrong. Anyway, let's go spook our neighbor now, we're a ghost. We approached the downstairs neighbor's door and knocked. A middle-aged woman named Gabby answered the door. Let's greet and start a conversation. Good morning, neighbor, said Kyle cheerfully. Gabby looked at Kyle expectantly. Well, let's ask her about Rachel, because we've only got 6 hours till the interview. Gabby, what are your true thoughts about Rachel May? She's a wonderful woman. Her generous acts have inspired good work. Blah, blah, blah. Gabby trailed off, not meeting Kyle's eyes. I think that's because she's looking at my nipple caps. And after several uncomfortable minutes of silence, Kyle turned around and left. What? Right, back to street. We've only got 1 hour until the interview. What are these up here? Oh, are these my like perks? So I'm a ghost, I've got bad food and nipple caps. Do we have time to go to the tech store? Or do we have to return? Let's try and get to the tech store. Am I going to miss the interview? All right, so we walked into the clean white tech store. We were greeted by Techno Jim, an elaborate cutout mascot playing soft music. Let's steal that. Oh, we got 3 dots because it's showtime. Kyle hurried to the set. Per normal, he ceased to be a ghost before he arrived. Damn it. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and she smiled. That's a good sign. Anyway, she just said she's happy to see me. Shall I answer politely or shall I scream and spin in circles? Sorry. And whilst we were doing that, we were interrupted by the producer telling him and Rachel that it would be time to start the show. Oh, so we're not actually recording. I was just giving some background. I feel like I'm going to insist. Kyle shoved his producer out of the way, spread his arms wide, and began to scream loudly. He began to rotate slowly, screaming throughout, lightly brushing his hands against the faces of Rachel and his producer. After several minutes, Kyle was finished. Right, I think we're ready for the interview. Yep, I'm ready, said Kyle. Right, let's start the interview. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking up to the camera. Welcome to Stay Up Late with Kyle. Kyle vomited all the horrible things he had eaten earlier onto the floor. Oh, god damn it. Why did I eat bugs? Yeah, Rachel's not too freaked out though. She gave a couple of coughs and decided to play it cool and keep the show running. Kyle stopped, then vomited again, then continued with a shaky voice. Tonight I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no introduction. In a shock, Kyle realized he had never bothered to prepare any notes for the interview. I mean, we were busy getting our nipple caps. Knowing he had the eyes of millions upon him, Kyle came up with a solution quickly. Ooh, maybe he is an engineer. So we can blame Rachel for the lack of notes. We can run away, or we can play dead. Oh, to be fair, I don't see why it's my fault. I think we're going to blame her. Rachel, I need to be honest, you're not terribly interesting, and I couldn't think of what I should ask you. In fact, continued Kyle, I would rather interview a fish than I would you. And furthermore, said Kyle, I'm not even sure I could tell the difference between you and a fish. Why are we being so mean? Rachel glowered at Kyle. Hang on, I'm going to have to Google what glowered means. Have an angry or sudden look on one's face. To scowl. I mean, to be honest, I feel like the actual thing to do there was probably do the old nipple spins on my things, my pasties. We just glowered back at her, and then she left the studio. Kyle no longer had a guest and spent the next 42 minutes staring at the camera silently, and Kyle prepared by blaming others. What just happened? Right, anyway, we're starting again. We're not going to wither away this time. We're going to be a man about this. We're going to exit the bed, and we're going to wear something a little bit more sensible this time. Jeans and swimming goggles. He could barely see out of the goggles. Oh man, overly tight goggles. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse. All right, let's get to the hallway and let's go to the kitchen. So what's in the fridge? What is in the fridge? Eat crust on fridge wall. Oh. Or we can prepare breakfast, eat condiments, or literally just eat the fridge. Well, I'm intrigued to see a man eat a fridge. So there we go. Carl pointed his neck directly upwards and hoisted the fridge on top of his face. Somehow, miraculously, he wrapped his mouth around the device and started to swallow. In one slow, horrible movement, the fridge slid down Kyle's throat, and after many gurgles, pops, and snaps, Kyle felt relatively sure the fridge would not come back out. Oh no, look, we've got the bad food treat again. I love how a snorkel is considered casual clothes. It's like, have you ever gone to like a works do or something? And like, oh, just casual wear's all right. And you show up in like your tightest goggles and a snorkel. Anyway, back to the kitchen. Are we still hungry? Shall we check the pantry? Let's check the pantry. Oh no, it's locked with a small keyhole. Right, I wonder now, if we check that locked door, not as a ghost, we can force the door with our forehead. Yes. Kyle decided it would be best to try and force the door open with use of his face. After smashing his features into solid wood for several minutes, Kyle gained short-term amnesia. That means we have an excuse not to prepare. See, that's thinking like an engineer. Back to hallway. Right, we've gone to the tech store again. We're going to steal the Techno Jim. So we've grabbed it by the shoulders, and finding that Techno Jim's cardboard feet were bolted to the ground, Kyle started to heave upwards, and after several tugs, it broke free, leaving one foot and one leg behind. Right, let's continue with the date. Right, we've got 3 hours left. Shall we visit Gabby again, our neighbor? All right, I'm going to ask Gabby about Gabby. I feel like that's a good neighborly thing to do. Oh, we ran out of time. Anyway, we've got to get to the set. So we're on set. Rachel's just said she's looking forward to being here. I'm going to interview Techno Jim instead. We shoved Rachel out of her seat, and Techno Jim is sat there instead. Kyle grasped Techno Jim's hand and tried to shake it, but instead tore it off at the cardboard frame. Kyle's producer, sensing viral media, pulled the bewildered Rachel out the frame and motioned the crew to go live. I can't believe this is working. Right, so we're live. Everyone's expecting Rachel to be our very special guest, but no, it's the Techno Jim with a dismembered arm. Techno Jim started to smoke from the heat of the light. Would you like to introduce yourself? Asked Kyle. Knowing Jim would probably not speak, Kyle took it upon himself to be his voice as well. Oh god. Hey Kyle, he said, raising the pitch of his voice. My name is Rachel May, and I'm a very special guest. Rachel's expression of confusion turned to shock. I'm not surprised. Well, Rachel, you look way too thin and absolutely terrible, and you should feel ugly. Why are we so mean to this Rachel person? I thought she's really nice and respected. Well, Kyle, he said, I sure wish I could look like you. Techno Jim burst into flames, and the sprinklers came on. Within seconds, the production equipment was doused in water. The set was soon aburst with electrical fires. As the crew scrambled to put the fires out, the cameras continued to run. Kyle sat motionless, staring forward. Eventually, the fires were all put out. Kyle's producer shut off the broadcast, leading Kyle's vacant stare as the final frame. Not gonna lie, that sounds like a banging viral video. Yep, called it. Kyle's rating skyrocketed. Techno Jim became a staple on the show. often ending up destroyed by the end of each episode, although Rachel did not come back. Her cardboard portrayal did, Rachel. Nice, I reckon we did all right there. Right, we gotta go again. We go again. We exit the bed. I feel like this time we're gonna prepare. We're gonna have a suit of armor just in case. Carl was unsure of exactly what caused him to decide to wear his armor, but it felt like the right thing to do. Sometimes as an engineer, you got to not follow your brain, you got to follow your heart. And if your heart says wear medieval armor, you gotta wear medieval armor. I wonder with my armor, can I now smash through the wall? We force the door with our forehead. No, we've got severe short-term amnesia again. Anyway, let's speak to the neighbor properly, because last time we got interrupted. So Gabby, how is Gabby? And imagine actually being the neighbor of like a famous talk show host and them literally saying to you, Gabby, tell me about yourself. Oh, you know, she said, putting on a fake smile. I just sit around here. Ooh. Yeah, I don't get around much. Never go out at night. I just stay here. Right here. Something tells me she's lying. Oh, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Convinced by Gabby's statement, Carl bid her goodbye and returned to the street. All right, well, I'm going to go back to my apartment. I want some good food. So we're going to prepare breakfast like a normal person. Carl constructed a breakfast of poached eggs and toast along with a small fruit cup and grilled sausage. So are we going to eat it? No, we're going to smash it. Carl smashes breakfast to a pulp using both fists because finally it was showtime. Right, so she just said hello to us. We're going to forget her name from the Amnesia. Finally, our life choices are actually being sensible for once. Hello, you. Carl's ears began to ring from his concussion. Rachel looked at Kyle, slightly confused, but continued smiling. Before she noticed the glazed look in Carl's eyes, the producer approached. Time to get started, he said. Carl sat in the nearest chair, which was Rachel's. After a moment, Rachel hesitantly sat in the host chair. Oh dear. And then it was time to start the broadcast. Good morning, everyone, said Carl. My name is, Carl made a desperate effort to remember his name or really anything. I mean, he's probably looking down at his coat of armor, wondering, what the hell am I doing here? I mean, that was actually his choice. Kyle looked at Rachel. Do you know who I am? He asked. Rachel looked back, confused. Who are you? Well, if you're not Kyle, I don't know who you are. Rachel smiled sweetly. Kyle made up his mind that he was probably Kyle. Good work, Kyle. That's thinking like an engineer with amnesia. Well, he said, I'm Kyle. A long silence followed. Eventually, Rachel spoke again. And I'm Rachel. Hi, everyone. She waved. Hi, Rachel, said Kyle. So why are we here? That's a very deep question to ask on a late night talk show. Rachel was visibly worried. Ha ha, funny, she said. Weren't you planning on asking me any questions? I mean, I don't have any ideas, said Kyle. Kyle kept staring at Rachel. Someone coughed. Carl looked around and noticed the crew. Who on earth are all of you? He asked. Nobody answered. Carl got out of his chair and walked off frame, leaving Rachel alone with millions of viewers. Rachel smiled at the camera nervously. Well, she said, let me tell you some knock-knock jokes. I'm not sure if her decision-making is like worse than Kyle's at this point. Eventually, the producer ended the broadcast early due to technical issues. Carl woke up in his bed the next day, remembering nothing about what happened. End. Kyle forgot everything. Right, we haven't sat at the desk yet. Let's sit down and let's check the desk drawer. There's a small key. We know where that goes. Okay, grab the key. Let's get back to the desk. I mean, we could write notes for the interview, but I want to go see what the key's for. So we've got to move to the kitchen because in the pantry, we can unlock it with a small key. Yes, the pantry door locked creaked as if it hadn't moved for years, but eventually opened. Let's take a look inside. Instead of an assortment of canned goods and grains, Carl's pantry stored his massive amount of bottled lard. What? So we can choose to ignore the pantry for now, or we can chug a bottle of lard. Oh, just the thought of it. Or we can grab a bottle of lard. All right, I'm sorry, I'm chugging it. I can't help myself. Carl voraciously grabbed the closest bottle, snapped the neck against the wall, and sucked out all the fat within a minute. We can chug another one. We're doing it. Carl wildly sucked down another bottle. He felt very sick. So at this point, we can choose to vomit on the floor and stop, or we can keep chugging, baby. Chug. Carl's vomit and the lard were mixing in a way to make it hard to tell which was which. Finish off the pantry. As Carl finished the last bottle of lard, he felt a wave of accomplishment come over him. Yes, Kyle, you have achieved today. All right, let's open the fridge. Because you can't just eat lard on its own. You must combine them with condiments. Kyle started to grab condiments from the fridge, squirting them into his mouth with both hands. Ketchup, horseradish, and mayonnaise entered his mouth at a rate that soon overwhelmed his ability to swallow. Kyle spewed the excess condiment slurry across the kitchen, covering the furniture and walls. Kyle continued until all the condiments had been emptied. This man is just eating everything. All right, so at the top, we got small key. We've got got bad food, and we just have normal food, which has a tick. So condiments, not all bad. All right, and I'll tell you what, filled with those, I'm ready to do some prep. So we're going to sit at the desk. We're going to write notes for the interview. Carl wrote down his first question. Are you a mother? Am I a mother? Is your mother a mother? And his second question, what are some diet tips? Beef. Mashed or blended? Ever eaten a raw egg whole? And his third question, what's your funniest story? Do you ever smile? Or I purposely ran over a puppy? Why would anyone do that? Like cats, I can understand. But a puppy? I'm joking about the cats, by the way. I am joking. And then the final question, basically we're trying to find out, is she an architect? So are you guilty? And you know what time it is? It's showtime. Rachel's smile quickly turned to shock as she realized Kyle had not put clothes on that day. Oops. That was an oversight. I love that she said nothing about the nipple caps, but yeah, I guess they are clothes. So at least I did try when I did that. Carl started making his rounds around the room, greeting each crew member, none of whom looked at him directly. Oh, has he even realized that he's naked? Oh no, she left the set because we were nude. We were nude and rude. One by one, the crew followed suit. I literally thought I'd smash this game then. I thought I'd got to the ending. Kyle was left all alone. Kyle prepared by being a nudist. Oh, I actually thought I was gonna do it then. Right, well anyway guys, that was Kyle is famous. Apparently there's 117 endings. We've only seen 4 of them. Holy moly. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. If you did enjoy, boost the like button. If you want to see another episode maybe, let me know in the comments. But for now, I will say peace, love, and nipple caps. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!